What's next, Jack? What's your next film?
I haven't really given it a lot of thought, to tell you the truth, but I'm thinking of doing a whole different kind of feel movie. A musical about the life and times of Menachem Begin.
You would play him?
Yeah. What do you think?
Albert, what's next?
I'll tell you what's next, Larry. I ordered some tuna fish. Is the waiter bring it?
Are you going to do a film? What's your next?
Yes, I'm doing the film in Washington.
No, I mean of your own creation. That film in Washington.
Yes, I am, Larry. I'm thinking about doing a brilliant film, actually. What choice do I have? I'm going to do a film about the great world of radio. Oddly enough, I should announce that here on the Larry King Show. About
film about radio.
The inside look, the real inside look, the sickness, the phobias.
I'm curious, Larry. Is Albert dating anyone right now?
Yes. Are you involved with anyone, Albert?
Now, Lucy, how serious is this thing with you and Kevin? Because you're very attractive. Really, I can't believe this.
Well,
Maybe it's the lighting.
I'm looking at you and I'm thinking the same thing, and I'm thinking Kevin who?
Larry, can we leave now?
We've had a breakup.
Kevin's gone. He's history. Never say the word Kevin and Pollack ever again.
We got about 30 seconds. Keith, what do you think it is?
Well, I tell you, when they get together, whoa, boy, I tell you, there's going to be a real barn burner going on there.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Keith.
Keith.
Kevin Pollak, Roy Firestone, and Lucy Webb.
And Larry King.
Larry King. Thank you.
Thank you. Boy, Lucy, you're real shy. Laid back girl. Lucy was just nervous about coming on, nothing to say. Tomorrow night, Milton Berle will be here. Heavies. And Jerry Mathers and Tony Dow of the new Leave It to Beaver. And Bill Conti and James Reynolds. And Wednesday night will be at the Sheridan Premiere next door. Sally Struthers will be here. Patty Duke. Little David Rappaport. Little David. What else do you say about David Rappaport? And Ed, what do you say about him, Albert?
The Munchkin City.
I never heard that done. Do that again.
I proudly present you with the tea.
We're up. Okay. This is the Larry King Show in Los Angeles, and we'll return with some open phones. This is the Mutual Broadcasting System.
The Larry King Show is now taking your phone calls at 703-685-2177. That's 703-685-2177. Let the phone keep ringing. We'll pick it up when it's your turn. And now, back to Larry.
Thank you very much. We're in Los Angeles, and we'll be here through Friday, and then next Monday and Tuesday at the Sheraton Hotel and Towers in downtown Seattle. The show here in Los Angeles from 8 to midnight at the Sheraton Universal. Wednesday night will be at the Sheraton Premiere. Nice to see Melinda Johnson. Lovely Melinda, who worked at Mutual for years, now lives in Los Angeles. It's our engineer, Pat Piper. Who's back there? Castleberry's got to be there. Michael Dunn has got to be there. Gallmeyer's there, the late Gallmeyer. He's back. Transfusion all week. He's back. And who else? Gettleman. Paul Gettleman's the supervisor. We also have a studio audience. Back in Washington, they rode for tickets, just caught the wrong week. But there they are. There they are. There they were. Don't tell me they left. Studio audience left. That's always happens that way. Castleberry has one thing to do all night. Turn on the studio audience mic and zap. They blow it. Okay, if anybody here has some questions, we'll take them. But first we'll go on the phone and we'll go to Chicago. Hello.
This is the most confusing program I've ever heard in my life.
In what way, sir?
Well, everyone sounds like Albert Brooks. You know, my friends tell me that I sound like him, and I can't go to work, and I work in a law firm. And boy, the way voices are patentable. We just won a $2 million suit for John Houseman. But everyone there sounds like Albert Brooks.
Everyone does, and you do too, sir.
Yes, I do. Well, I was just trying to deceive you with the name of the city. Hello, Larry.
It's Albert. I'd know Albert anywhere. That's Albert.
Yeah, how are you, buddy?
Albert, listen.
Yeah.
You could do the world a favor, Albert. I tell you what, I like this guy so much, Albert.
Yeah, I know, I could tell.
No, Kevin.
Oh,
I like Kevin.
Yeah.
I like Kevin Pollak so much that if you would just come over here.
I got in my car. I thought I had taken bad acid. I was very confused. I was in the middle of Wilshire Boulevard. A cop pulled me over. He's listening to the radio. I'm talking. I got 2 tickets tonight.
All right, Albert.
Yeah.
It doesn't. Albert, you are weird. We do try. We call you. You never call back. We come out here.
No,
we go
just
through
Larry,
this
listen,
charade.
listen,
You always come over.
Wait a minute.
No, I'm asking you one favor. One favor.
Yes, sir.
Kevin Pollak is a very talented young man, and I will tell you something honestly, Albert. He worships you. It's not liking. It's not being a fan.
Let me talk to
He worships you.
He's still there? Let me talk to him.
He's here. Hold on, I'll bring him
Let me
up.
talk to him.
Okay, here he comes.
Okay.
Now, but I want you to come over and meet him,
I
Albert.
can't come over and meet him. I'm a busy man. First of all, Larry, before you put Kevin on, through him, I got to hear some of the stuff you really think. I wrote it down. What is this? Just a minute. I got the quote here. What do you mean, will I ever make it big? What is it?
No.
No,
I didn't mean
I
it
heard
that
you
way.
say it.
Albert.
You want me to get a guy here with glasses and ask him questions? Excuse me. Sit down, please, Larry. Hold on, Larry. I got a guy here. Hold on. Larry, how come I never see you with a gal? Go ahead. Hold on, Larry. How come every time I do your show, you go up in the hotel by yourself in the elevator, and the elevator smells funny when it comes down?
Albert, I meant the question as a compliment.
Uh-huh.
Let me explain this, Albert.
Tell me what brand of radio to buy to hear it that way. But you're
Okay.
a very sweet man.
No, I meant it in that I think, I say this honestly, you are the funniest person in America, and I don't think America knows it yet.
Just a minute. Hold
That's all I meant.
Wait, Larry, put that steak down. It's not even cooked. Go ahead. No, I know. You know, listen, Larry, you've been very sweet. I wanted to tell you something. Remember that last show I did?
Yes.
And by the way, you know that I have great affection for you, don't you?
I know.
But I must tell you, this is not a Japanese fable, and I didn't save your life. You got to give me a break here. But listen, Larry, I got to tell you something. Remember the last show with Tommy Lasorda?
Sure.
Okay. So what did I do? I went down there at you pushing my shoulder and saying, "Go down and do it." I went down and I was bat boy.
Right.
You know what happened that day?
You hurt someone.
Oh, Larry, I was my first time at bat. They told me, they said, pick up the bats and stay on the grass. Don't get on the dirt, because they thought I had cleats on, but I didn't. I had the bat boy rubber shoes they gave me.
So what happened?
The first up, the guy, the first at bat got a hit. The next up was Bill Matlock, and I went to pick up the bat before Bill Matlock, and all I'm doing is looking at the grass to stay on it. I'm like a machine. Stay on the grass. I pick my head up. I'm already bumped into him. He dropped the bat. He grabbed his neck. It was on national television. Larry, as my friend David Lander said, you've never lived until you've seen center field open up and an ambulance drive through. The guy, he grabbed his neck. I can't tell you the word he said. He yelled a very bad 4-letter word as loud as he could, and this is on television, and it's Houston, and what am I doing there? And I just thought of you. Oh boy, I love Larry.
By the way, Tommy Lasorda said, I had dinner with him much later in New York. He said you were...
Larry, because after spending an hour with him, you start to talk. You know, Albert's he's an American, Larry. And that's the most important thing. You know, let me tell you something. I don't know if you know the history of how people came here to this country. That is the Dodgers remind me of, they're not Puerto Rican, but they remind me of them, Larry, and their eagerness to please. It's a very, very beautiful country.
Tommy told me that you were a riot and everyone on the bench loved you.
Oh, I was so scared. You know how how maybe in your lifetime you have 3 prayers to God that you really are serious. One comes when you're 7 and you think you're going to be killed, and then you don't want someone to die. I used one of them up. I looked up to heaven. I said, this is a real one. Please let Bill Matlock get a hit. I felt so stupid using that up to the kid, and he got a hit. He got a hit. And God answered back, okay, but now your mom dies a little earlier.
Albert, don't hang up. We're going to put you on hold and come right back, and you'll talk to Kevin, and then I want one night you to come over here. You don't have to come on, Albert. I just want you to meet I want you to meet Kevin, okay, Albert?
Like a chaperone? Kevin and I will... by the way, well, I'll tell Kevin when I talk to him.
Okay. We'll come right back. Albert, you know where I went today?
Where?
Beverly Hills High School.
What did you do?
I spoke to the
A
journal.
remedial reading course. What'd you do?
I spoke to the journalism class.
Did they love you?
They love me.
Yeah. Well,
By the way-
listen, and you know something, Larry? I'm always you're right. You can say on the radio, I know Albert's listening, and many times he is, and many times, even if I'm not, I always hear about it because I have a very small circle of friends, and one has a radio on 24 hours a day.
We'll be right back with Albert Brooks, who will talk to Kevin Pollack after this.
You're listening to The Larry King Show, live from the Sheraton Universal Hotel in Universal City, California. Here again, Larry King.
Okay, we have kind of a first here. We're in Los Angeles. Albert's in Los Angeles. We pray one night he'll come over here because he's...
Please.
All right.
Listen, Larry.
I'm using one of my 3 prayers. That you
It's
come
so much responsibility. I have to go to a tanning place. I have to do everything.
All right. Kevin Pollack, very funny young man. This is maybe his greatest thrill. Kevin, what do you wish to say to Albert? Then Albert, I'm sure, will carry on.
Just what an amazing fan I am of his work, and I hope he doesn't mind that I'm getting away with doing an impression of him on your show and on television and on other shows.
Do you mind it, Albert?
So far, it's okay. Little worried when Larry suggests those James Comack things. I would like to do I only do one impression, Kevin, Marvin Mitchelson. See if it sounds like him. No, so listen. I guess all that stuff is it's interesting. It's interesting. I called your machine. That's right. You do hear everything correctly, but you
Good.
put much better since the machine.
Yeah,
What
that
brand
was
of
the early
answering machine is it?
That was the early stages. I'd only been doing it for about 2 weeks.
What
Albert,
brand of answering machine was it?
Aren't you complimented, Albert?
Yes, I am, Larry. I am. I did see Ed Weinberger did send me a tape, and it's funny. It made me laugh, and hell, it almost got me laid.
I do a thing in my act when I headline clubs all over the country called the Albert Brooks Show. It's a talk show, and I bring some up in the audience and interview them improvised, and it always works. And I'm educating audiences all over the country as to who Albert Brooks is. I'll always ask how many folks here know who he is, and I tell you, Larry, every club I play anywhere in the country, at least 2% of the audience knows. But the important thing is, no, at least 30 to 35% of the audience will respond each time. And then, as I explained, beginning years of Saturday Night Live, it was always a film by Albert Brooks, Real Life, Modern Romance, Lost in America. By then, it's about 65% of the audience will respond.
Well,
Albert,
you know
what
what
did-
I would like to do, Kevin? I would like to bring you one day, you and your wife-to-be, bring you over to the corporation and show you the projections we have, because we're pretty excited, and we feel that by 1989, you're going to have 60 to 70% of that audience knowing who he is. We're very excited about that now. As a matter of fact, we just did some tests. Have you played Des Moines recently?
No, never.
Oh, wait till you go there. We have an 80% recognition rate. Of course, what I do is I go into the city first and commit a major crime. I get on all the news, and then it helps. No, I think it's great. I mean, I want, I was interested. I was listening to Larry ask the Albert questions, and I thought that's where I thought you really did lovely. You battled him off. He always likes to do that. Woody's bigger.
Stop it, Albert.
Only Woody had another name, so I wouldn't have to keep hearing Woody. I get so mixed up. I think
I would like to hear Kevin talk to you as Albert talking to Albert.
All right, it's like a vocal mirror.
All right.
This is your subconscious, Albert. Listen, the last film we did, Lost in America,
Yeah, did you like it?
we didn't really get to keep the Winnebago after the filming. Why was that?
Well, they have those tax laws. But they're good. They're funny. They're good laws, aren't they?
They're great laws. I have something to report back. Since then, Julie Haggerty has not said either the word nest or egg since the filming. She still can't say it. It's frightening. I'm not sure if you know that or not.
That was contractual, Kevin. She was not allowed to repeat in her real life any of the actual words in the script. And she wrote me a lovely letter the other day. Listen to this. I miss you so much. Could I please say and the?
I was spying on Woody Allen's subconscious at the time, so I wasn't present. I'm sorry.
How is he? He you know, see, Woody Allen's so prolific, his subconscious makes short films.
Albert, when are you coming to Washington?
Well, I go back east next month to rehearse, and then early next year. Early next year, all the way. Yeah, that's when it'll be.
Who's in the film with you?
William Hurt and myself.
Oh, the heavies.
It seems to me somewhere in that film there should be a moment where there is someone. You're still playing the sports writer, sports announcer.
It's not a sports writer. It's a network newscaster.
Next newscaster. There's a fan of Albert's news as the newscaster who watches the news all the time and lives vicariously through his every movement, and should be somewhere in the film where I could appear doing the impression. Don't you think, Larry, that would make sense?
Can they work that in, Albert?
Let me, I'd wake up Jim if I had his home number, but it's a good idea. But so, Kevin.
Yes.
But so things are good. You are funny. I've seen a lot of what you do, and you're funny. And I do want to tell you that, because you are.
Having Larry told me that, and now you, this so far is the greatest
As you know,
night,
Larry doesn't like to compliment people.
Never.
Larry's in his book. Let me see what it says here. It's under right. Here it is. Most compliments in a half hour. Larry King, October 3rd, 1979.
Albert, what's the title of the movie?
It's untitled. See, he stole that idea from Woody Allen.
Who's the female interest?
You know something? That I remember last time. Boy, this has gone on a long time, hasn't it? I sure hope it turns out well. I have been reading and working with. There's about 3 finalist women, and I won't say any of their names because they're probably all of them are up.
But you and William Hurt are in this movie.
Huh?
You and William Hurt.
Yes, we're signed. We're locked.
All right, and you come, and it's going to be shot in Washington. Now, what about Lucy Webb for a part? Did you hear her?
What is this? Casting phone? All right, put her on.
We'll put her on. No, she's in the back. We're running short of time.
Yeah.
Albert,
Yeah.
you will come over to meet Kevin one night.
I will. Well, if I don't meet him this week, I will. You know, I'll tell you what you did do, and you're very sweet. When I do meet him, we've already had something in common. I was able to talk to him through you. So you have mediated this in your lovely way. And by the way, Larry, I wish you'd get some kind of an award soon.
What do you mean?
I don't know. I don't know. It just came into my head. I thought you could understand it.
Albert?
Yeah.
Please, when you see it, it's impossible to ask you to say you'll be here Friday, because you would never say that. Thursday you'll be...
You know, look, Dudley Moore's coming Friday.
Albert's going to be a lot of fun.
Listen, Larry, I'll tell you what I'll do. I will try, but it's getting, you know, I was out of work for about 14 months and very grateful. You know, I didn't tell you this because I thought you thought it would be tragic, but, you know, in all your other visits, I was there at the airport. I just didn't have the guts to welcome you. As a matter of fact, I remember I had the sign, except I had my name on it. I didn't know how the limousine thing worked. But, you know, now I'm getting a little busier, so I kind of like, you know, it's a little harder, and then soon it'll be impossible.
Well, I'll see you in Washington.
But, you know, I'm out there, and I always listen, and what can I say? You know, Larry, this isn't Japan.
What?
You don't know what I mean by that, do you?
No.
Oh, well, you know, it's a law. You know the Japanese culture, how if you save someone's life,
Yes.
like whose life did you save anyway? Did you see that play?
Yes.
Oh, do I have to finish this?
Well, I don't know what you mean by Japan.
I meant that there's a kind of loyalty there, which I do share, but.
Then I tell you what, Albert.
All right, go ahead.
I cannot come to Los Angeles without having you come to this program. It is a thrill to be your friend and to know you. And knowing how much I admire young Kevin, and I know what it would mean to him, the man would throw Lucy away to meet you. The man would fall on knees. Firestone would come.
Told me the same thing, and look what happened.
Who told you the same thing?
Paul Schultz, you know, Peanuts. Go ahead.
Albert, try to come over, okay?
Larry, listen, no, wait, no, because, you know, Kevin he knows me. I'm guilty. And I, you know, Larry, please. See, look, all right, Larry, let's examine what you just said for 30 seconds, okay? We'll do it in front of the audience. You said I can't ever come to Los Angeles without seeing you. Now, that means that, there's many years left in both of our lives. What if I'm not here?
It's pressure.
Yeah, it is. It's pressure. And maybe I'm not even calling you from L.A. All right, Larry. Damn you, I'm calling you from the Universal Sheraton. I'm outside. I'm locked out. I'm talking to you from a cellular phone. I'll do the best I can, but Larry...
All right, Albert. But I want to know, so Kevin, you got to listen all week so you can run over.
I'll be here every second. Wait.
I will always do the best I can, but Larry, but I want you to know something, and I really want you to hear me, okay, Larry? If I'm not there, I am still there. I am always out there. I have one ear into your show for the rest of my life, and that's pretty good, isn't it?
Albert Brooks, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay.
Thank you, Albert.
Thank you, Albert,
Kevin.
very much.
We'll be back after this message.
This is the Larry King Show, tonight live from the Sheraton Universal Hotel in Universal City, California. And now, Larry King.
Well, we have to get in one call. You can't do open phone America and take no calls. Except Albert. We go to Austin, Texas. Hello.
Good evening, Mr. King, and how are you tonight?
Fine.
You are in fine fettle, as you have said in the past. I am honored to be the following call to the stereo version of Albert Brooks.
The stereo version of Albert.
This has been an incredible night. I don't know if they've told you how long I've been on hold, but I figured this is such a good show, I don't mind paying for it. Listen, I did have a question for you since it was going to be open phone. And I don't know if Roy Firestone is still there, but if he is, I'd like to get his opinion on this. Did you see the Dallas Cowboy Philadelphia Eagles game yesterday?
Just the highlights.
Just the highlights. Are you aware that in the opening plays, Tony Dorsett took the ball, ran up the middle, and got